When I say the most deserved Ballon d'Or winner of all time, who actually comes to your mind? You may be thinking of the obvious choices such as Messi or Ronaldo, or even a newer player such as Dembele. But there was one Ballon d'Or winner who was so ahead of second place everyone knew he was going to win it. In my opinion, this player is none other than Karim Benzema. Now hear me out for a second. During the 21-22 La Liga season, he was the highest scorer with 27 goals, and which was 9 more than second place. He was also the second highest assister in La Liga with 12 assists, and just one behind Ousmane Dembele. I know that Ronaldo and Messi would get 50 to 70 goal contributions each league season, but those two were entirely on a different level from everyone else. This Ballon d'Or didn't just mean a lot to Benzema, it also meant a lot to the people. Benzema admitted how he saw Ronaldo win this award many times and he himself wanted to win it in the future. Imagine you receive this Ballon d'Or by none other than the best French player of all time, Zinedine Zidane. Before 2018, Benzema was never really the main person for Madrid, which is to be expected when Cristiano Ronaldo is there. But once Ronaldo and many other key figures for Madrid left, the spot was open for whoever wanted to be the main person. During the last 5 years of Benzema at Real Madrid, the only season where he had less than 20 league goals was his final season there. There were always debates about Luis Suarez, Lewandowski, and Benzema during the years. All of them were consistent, but one thing that those two had over Benzema were standout seasons. I'm not saying Benzema was bad, because we all know how he didn't become the highest assister and second highest goal scorer for Madrid for no reason. Benzema was unselfish the whole time, and his sole purpose was to help Ronaldo the whole time. And he also quickly transitioned to becoming a dangerous striker after Ronaldo left. We all know how Suarez had some pretty good standout seasons in Liverpool and Barcelona. And then Lewandowski also had some good standout seasons, especially of Bayern and Dortmund. Benzema was always pretty consistent. I think what made him fall behind Suarez and Lewandowski was just having one good standout season. Although many people still say Suarez and Lewandowski are still better than Benzema, Benzema showed to the whole world that he at least deserves to sit on the same podium as the best strikers of our generation. I've been talking a lot about Benzema and how much this award actually meant to him, but now I want to get into his best games of the season. Just from his first 3 La Liga games alone, everyone could sense that he was about to go on a generational run. He registered 5 goal contributions against the likes of Levante, Real Betis, and Alaves. Now, I'm going to mention a lot of games where he either had a rating of 8.5 or higher. During a game versus Celta Vigo, Benzema scored a hat-trick and also assisted to receive his first 10 of the season. During a game versus Valencia, he had 1 assist and 1 goal for an 8.5 rating. The next game, however, would be his second 10-match rating of the season with 2 goals and 2 assists against Mallorca. Although his ratings weren't an 8.5 or higher, he still managed to bag some goals against Spain and Belgium. During a 5-0 win against Shakhtar in the Champions League, he would get a 9.2 rating with 1 goal and 1 assist. The next encounter versus Shakhtar would end with him scoring the only 2 goals in a 2-1 win and getting a rating of 8.7. Although his ratings were around a 7 multiple times, I do want to mention the fact that he scored in many games and against clubs such as Atletico Madrid, Athletic Bilbao, and Sevilla. In a 4-1 win against Valencia, he would get 2 goals and a rating of a 9. His next game against Barcelona in the Supercopa semi-final would allow for him to shine against his biggest rivals with a goal and an assist. After facing Alaves again, he would contribute to all 3 of the goals that were scored in this match. The next big game would be one of the most memorable nights for Real Madrid in the Champions League. This was the second leg of PSG versus Madrid, and PSG were already 1-0 up with the last-minute goal from Mbappe in the first leg. They would return at the Bernabeu, and it seemed like all hope was lost when Mbappe scored yet another goal to make it 2-0. Benzema realized he had to prove himself, and he definitely did by scoring a hat-trick in the second leg, with goals in the 61st minute, 76th minute, and the 78th minute. Just take a moment to realize how insane this was. He scored a hat-trick in just under 20 minutes against the likes of Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, Nuno Mendes, Marquinhos, Hakimi, Verratti, Di Maria, and Donnarumma. After nearly escaping another consecutive Champions League defeat, he would go on to get 3 goal contributions against Mallorca in La Liga. Everyone knew that Benzema was going to show up against Chelsea in the quarterfinals. Do you know how insane it is for someone to not only score a hat-trick against a team like PSG, but also how insane it is to score another hat-trick against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in the first leg? Chelsea were also the previous winners of the Champions League last season. Madrid's qualification was secured, but Benzema had to go and score yet again another goal in the second leg. The next opponent would be another English giant by the name of Manchester City, and I think we all know about the comeback that happened. In the first leg, Benzema scored 2 goals, but they still lost 4-3. We all know how important Rodrigo was in the second leg, but Benzema was just as important by not only assisting Rodrigo, but by scoring the winning penalty to send them to the finals. In one La Liga game against Levante, Madrid would win 6-1 and Benzema would get a rating of 9.1 with a goal and an assist. Although he didn't score in the UCL final, this would mark the end of arguably one of the best individual seasons we ever seen in the Champions League and in general. Keep in mind that Madrid should have been eliminated in the round of 16, but he took this team to win their 14th Champions League. Benzema finally achieved his dream and secured a very easy Ballon d'Or finish. He also had a top 3 or even top 1 season in terms of the Champions League by scoring 15 goals and providing 2 assists. I know that Ronaldo did have higher goal scoring seasons, but the clutch factor of Benzema this season in the Champions League alone and how he single-handedly brought Madrid to a Champions League trophy deserves way more recognition. In total, he had 44 goals and 15 assists in 46 games this season. Let's look at the numbers for the Ballon d'Or and see how many votes he actually had. Benzema had 549 votes. Just to show you how insane this was, I'm going to list the next 5 people on the list. Sadio Mane had 193, Kevin De Bruyne had 175, Lewandowski had 170, Salah had 116, and Mbappe had 85. This isn't the largest Ballon d'Or margin though, because Ronaldo won it by 429 points in 2016 over Lionel Messi. Although Benzema doesn't have the largest margin, I still think this is easily the most deserved Ballon d'Or of all time. No one can actually make a case for any other player this season besides Benzema. During the Messi and Ronaldo era, no matter how good either of them was during any season, we know how the other one would likely be second with some exceptions such as 2010 and basically every single year. Even when Messi scored a record-breaking 91 goals in a year, he had 50 goals in the 2012 league season. Ronaldo may have been behind in overall goals by a lot, but he was only behind by 4 league goals this season and he scored 46 goals. The point I'm trying to make is that these two always seemed like they were in a world of their own. There were also many good players during these years such as Manuel Neuer, Robin, Ribéry, Neymar, Griezmann, and many more notable names. I already said how I believe this is the most deserved Ballon d'Or of all time, but in terms of least controversial ones, it's definitely up there with Ronaldo's 2016 Ballon d'Or and Messi's 2012 Ballon d'Or. This season for Benzema wasn't normal, he was basically a cheat code. Besides him being the definition of a striker this season and scoring insane goals, he was also assisting and providing key passes to win games. I would also say that Benzema is the reason why Vinicius Jr. has developed into such a good player over the years. This one season of Benzema was so different from his previous seasons that many people started calling him a one-season wonder. The fact that this one season was so good that people called him a one-season wonder should actually be a compliment. He's always been very consistent. You can even see this during his days playing for Lyon in the French league. A one-season wonder wouldn't just be in the top 4 for most La Liga goals and top 4 for most Champions League goals. The comeback that was brought upon by Benzema himself was truly surprising. Not only were football fans around the world convinced that Benzema would be done for after Ronaldo left, even Madrid fans thought he was just dead weight. Zidane himself stated how Benzema is the greatest French striker of all time and he knows what he's actually worth. Receiving a compliment like this from a legend like Zidane should just tell you about what type of player Benzema actually was. I know that his final and next season at Madrid wasn't as good as the 21-22 season, but I just want to quickly talk about it because it was still pretty impressive. During a round of 16 match against Liverpool, Madrid would once again terrorize them by scoring 5 goals in the first leg, and Benzema would contribute to 2 of those goals. He would also score the only goal in the second leg. He would then go on to score a hat-trick against Real Valladolid, and then he would go on to score yet again another hat-trick and assist in the same game against Barcelona in the Copa del Rey. Just to let you know, only Messi and Suarez had scored an El Clasico hat-trick before him in the 2000s. Not even Ronaldo himself has done this. His final hat-trick for Madrid would be against Almeria, and he would conclude his career at Madrid with a penalty against Athletic Bilbao. That's all I really have to say about this video, so thank you for watching if you actually did, and please remember to like and subscribe and even share if you want. Also comment down below if you want me to make a video like this, but for Neymar, bye.